Welcome, guys. Welcome, my Jamaican peeps. Thanks for joining me on my channel, where we try to highlight the positive side of things in our society, some of the values, some of the very instruments that makes us a civil society. First, let me try to use this opportunity to thank my supporters, some of my friends who have encouraged me to embark on this journey and who have lent their voice to the cause and to facilitate and to accompany me on this journey. So today we're going to be focusing on one of the nucleus that holds our society together, right? And basically, how do we treat with this said being, right? We're speaking about our ladies, our women, our mothers, sisters, daughters, you name it, right? Our women. In recent history in Jamaica, we have seen whereby there has been an escalation in the level of domestic violence and the increase in women falling victims, right? To the point where we have been seeing like some real vicious and crude crime that is committed against our women. And it really begs me to ask a question, or to try to understand really if we love our women. And I will ask this question because there's a common belief here in Jamaica that, you know, we are lovers of women and we love our mothers dearly and so on, right? But if you're following the popular news media and outlet, whether it is you're consuming content from social media or regular traditional media, whether it is your newspaper or by television, you would be seeing incidences of quite a number of circumstances, right, under which you know, the lives of some females have been snuffed away just like that, right? And I really want to speak to that because in my view, I'm somewhat seeing some sense of contradiction because, and why I'm going to say it's a sense of contradiction, because in Jamaica here, right? In Jamaica here, it is thought of that every man love their mother, right? And while we can say for most persons, yes, we would agree, but there has been an increase, there has been a change in the values, right? There has been a change in the role of men. It's like we're not understanding the role of a woman, right? And when we take it upon ourselves to get angry, to inflict pain, and to try to take another person's life or a woman's life, it's like we're not thinking. When we look at the role of a female, right, as the nucleus of the family, because she's involved in childbearing, keeping the house together. It has evolved now. The role has evolved now where women are breadwinners as well, right? And we do lift our hats to those females as well, and lift our hats to every female, because guess what? At the end of the day, men cannot do what you do. I make this statement all the time that until a man sits inside of a delivery room when a woman is having her baby or giving birth to a baby, and you see the struggle, you see the very reflection of the statement regarding a thin line between life and death, right? You would not truly value, right? You would not truly value and understand the role of a woman, right? So I impress upon a lot of the gentlemen. I know sometimes it might be weak. It might be a bit difficult for some of us to try to deal with, right? Because maybe our constitution is just not as firm as that. But I encourage every young man, you know, if you're the father, if you're the father of a child, or you have gotten a woman pregnant, try to go into that delivery room and understand, right? Understand, see firsthand what a woman goes through, and then tell me if your perception still remain the same, right? So that is just one little thing. So, you know, as I mentioned earlier, the woman has a big role to play in society, right? Without the woman, then we can't have reproduction, right? We can't have reproduction and we can't expand on the generation, right? So they do form that central role in our society, let alone the fact that they give up themselves in all sorts of condition and circumstances to ensure that at the end of the day, the family is held together. Now, I would go out on a limb and maybe make the statement that I don't think a lot of us men really have a good relationship with our mothers, right? I don't think we have a good relationship with our mothers. I don't even think some of us like our mothers. The reason why I'm going to go out on a limb and say that is because anytime you think of hurting, anytime you think of hurting a woman physically, right? Try to inflict pain. The images of your mother or your sister or your daughter should be flashing across your mind. And then the next question should be, would I want this for my mother? Would I want this for my daughter? Would I want this for my sister? Now, the image of a woman basically is constant, is the same. Is the same. So it's not very hard to do. It's not very hard to do. So when we boast and speak about the fact that we love our mothers and so on, it is not reflecting. It is not reflecting in the society today. It is not reflecting in the society today because outside of the crimes that are committed against women, I witnessed for myself, and you'd have heard women complaining about it, of being disrespected, world without end. You understand? Being disrespected, world without end. And we cannot continue as a civilized society on that same trajectory. It doesn't make sense. Just the same way we need to protect our kids, we need to be protecting our female or women just the same, right? We need to be protecting our women just the same, right? And I will start with trying to get back or instill that value in our youth to understand the role of a woman, right? To understand the role of a woman as well as knowing how to treat a woman, right? The respect first. So I'm calling on the parents, whether it is you're a single parent or you're living in a household with both parents, with both partners. I'm calling on the parents, right? Calling on the entertainers, calling on the influencers, that we have a role to play, because if we continue to have these type of things play out in the eyes and minds of our young ones, what type of future are we looking forward to for Jamaica, right? And I speak against this because this is me using my voice to echo the sentiments of some of the few that truly care. I'm not hearing the loud enough cry for like a Jasmine Dean. We're not hearing a loud enough cry for all those females who have lost their life, right? At the hands of some level of criminality. How can you, right? How can you tell me that you love your mother, right? Tell me that you love your mother, and you break into the house of a woman, a mother, right? Robs her, and then turn around asking for sex, wanting to rape that woman, and then not only that you want to do that, to that woman. You want to do it in front of that woman's child, 10-year-old child. Just imagine the trauma that child has to live through for the rest of her life, right? And again, this is a female. So you have the mother and her daughter, right? And then now you doing whatever it is with the mother, right? And when the mother refuses to comply, you basically wipe away the mother in front of the child. Now, I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me. And again, I'm not hearing the outcry nationwide. There should be unrest in this country. Right? There should be unrest in this country because the most vulnerable among us are now being attacked. Right? So we need to get back. I call again on the celebrities, call again on the influencers, calling again on the parents and every member of society that has the responsibility of raising a child, a young man, right? Help us to instill back the values that once made us respected as men, respected as civilized members of the society. So therefore, when we look back, how do you go about treating a woman? It starts from some simple basic etiquette that you can teach your child, right? Your male child, right? Simple things like you're going through a door, you and a woman or you and a female entering through a door, almost the same time, you stop, you open the door for the female, allow her to go. Things like ladies before gentlemen, right? Simple etiquette like basically when you are going up the stairs or down the stairs, the posture and position that you should take as a man, right? You're going up the stairs, you walk behind the lady. You're going down the stairs, you walk in front of the lady. So in an attempt that you can break or fall should in case there's an accident. You open the door for a lady. Open the car door for a lady, right? Before you enter the car, right? Things like, how do you address a woman? Hi, how are you? Right? Address her by a title, Miss, Madam, and so forth, right? All of these little things are things that you can actually try. Even explain the importance to a child, to a male child, the importance of his sister. Respect your sister. Protect your sister. Right? Protect your sister. Right? Explain. So these are conversations that you can have with your children, your male children, as you go along. These are conversations that you can have. The same way you can be having or prepping them for conversation leading into adolescence, teenager, the stage of teenager, right? Have conversation. Speak with your child. Speak with your children. And likewise, let the female child know or understand the importance of her brother, the importance of her father, right? The importance of her father, or the importance of the male figure, right? The male figure. Because don't be fooled, and I know this, a lot of what is happening, chances are, is out of disrespect onto the male, and the male react in a particular manner. But it does not say that this is the way to life, and I'm not excusing any of it, right? Whether it is female and male crime or male and female crime, none of them, none whatsoever. But the issue in focus today, we're talking about the treatment of our women, because when I was growing up, some of the things I'm hearing right now or I'm seeing that make the news right now were never a case. Never a case. So something has changed. Something has changed and we need to get back. We need to get back to that point. Right? We need to get back to that point where we put respect on the name of the female. Likewise, yes, put respect on the name of the male as well. Right? So I'm saying this. We need to get back to that place where we can be the protectors. The men can be the protectors. The men can be the voice. The men can be, right, the spine of the household and of the family. And it all begins with training, right, and instilling the proper values in our young men from this point onward, right? There has to be a change. We have to bring back the values that once made Jamaica a nice place, right? We need to bring back the value, right, that made us as men, women look up to us and admire us. While I understand that a lot of these things are caught up in vexation and sometimes the women themselves being a little bit mouthy and so on, but that is the nature of a woman. You cannot try to exercise or try to go toe to toe with a woman. A young man needs to understand that as well, right? And I know some of these intent might be accidental, but it still doesn't excuse you going to try to inflict hurt on a female. No, it shows that you're weak as a man, right? And as what them would have said in some quarters in the country, a woman's strength alone you have, right? A woman's strength alone you have. So bear that in mind. Bear that in mind. We cannot continue on the same trajectory. We cannot continue on the same path. And the reason why I'm doing this, and the reason why I'm committing this channel to the younger minds, to us, because guess what? We need the change to start with them. Right? We need the change to start with them. And the change also has to start in the minds of the parents, the influencers, and the entertainers, the celebrities. Right? This is not acceptable behavior for a civilized society. Right? It should not get to the point where an entertainer can make a hit song, right? Encouraging women to poison their abusive partner. It shouldn't get to that point. It shouldn't have gotten to the point of a breaking news, right? We should have tried to fix and deal with this. And the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about as well. Ensure that we sit down and try to teach our children proper conflict resolution. How do we go about talking to our kids about how do you treat with conflict? How do you resolve conflict? Right? How do you resolve disagreement? Right? And have them appreciate that not everybody will see eye to eye on the same outcome. Because that is who we are as human beings, right? We are varied in our attitudes and varied in our thought process and thinking, right? We have to reverse this cycle. We have to reverse this cycle. It starts with me. It starts with you, right? This is something that we want to ensure that at the end of the day, we can look and we say we value our women. We value our mothers. We value our daughters. We value our sisters, right? And as I said earlier, anytime you get that nudge to want to inflict hurt, picture your mother, picture your daughter, picture your sister, and ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. If you would like this outcome to reach any of those people that you love. This is just like my 2 cents on this situation, because again, we need these platforms to come together as voices to speak about the things that are breaking our society, the things that are the things that are making life really difficult for us here, right? And that is one of my purpose with this channel, to try and bring to that point, right? Bring it to that point. And with that said, thanks for listening. Let me know your thoughts. Again, I don't sit down here try to be the crusader of everything that is perfect, but again, starting the positive spin and energy, right, sure will return positive outcomes. Sure to return the positive outcomes. A principle that I usually live by is the law of attraction, right? Anything you want to happen to you and anything around you, attract that same type of energy. Start to think it, start to process it, and then your actions will follow suit, right? I appreciate to hear. Let me know in the comments what you think, as well as provide some solutions, as well as to how we can tackle all of this issue. That's it from me for now, right? Andre Powers with another view through the eyes of the eagle.